we're doing the flame torch sequence on True Lies. I said, Jim, we can't run anybody through that as gasoline, but on a long lens, we can make it look like we ran it through them and you're over them either way. And they hit squibs and they catch on fire. He goes, it's my freaking movie, and I'll do it the way. And I got into his face and I don't care if it's your freaking movie. I'm your freaking stunt coordinator, and you're not going to freaking do it. We're punching each other in the chest, and the whole set stopped.
So last time, you saw Joel Kramer go toe-to-toe with James Cameron on the set of Terminator 2 and win. But that was the beginning of the relationship, not the end of it. Cameron hired Joel again for True Lies, and the fights got bigger. True Lies was 4 months over schedule. The crew was burned out. Cameron was burned out. And Joel still had one of the biggest gags in the film left to shoot: the Harrier jet backing into a building.
The Harrier jet mock-up is on a big trolley. It's going to move, and we're going to move it into the building. And John Bruno, who's our visual effects supervisor, is playing the part of the guy with the Walkman, doesn't notice me vacuuming away. So when the tail came in and we broke the glass, it was supposed to come in straight. Well, it kind of veered off a little bit. And it broke. Who cares? He had 5 cameras, and Jim went ballistic on Tommy Fisher. He goes, damn it, Fisher. I wanted it in. It veered off, and we're all burned out. And Tommy's frazzled from getting screamed at. I said, I can fix it. Lane, my rigger, take a tagline, tie it to the tail of that, run it to a 2-to-1 underneath the roster, big rostrum, 8-foot rostrum, or the set's on, and we'll get 4 guys. We'll just pull that, keep that tail center. We just pull it off a pulley. And Jim goes, how long will that take? Freaking 10 minutes, Jim. We get it rigged. They replace all the glass. We go for take 2. Now, Jim, before I tell you what happened, he's got all the little monitors set up on 5 cameras. He's sitting in his video village. I'm about 20 feet away. Comes in and it goes bang. Maybe it was an inch off center. Couldn't even tell. Damn it, Kramer. What the fuck? He starts going at me. And I said, you know what, Jim? When I took my radio and I threw it, he ducked. I blew out his monitor. I went, I'm out of here. And I go storming out of the Synchro hangar, which is the Van Nuys Airport. And he comes running after me. You can't quit. You can't stop. You can't. I said, you can't talk to people this way. I went up on him. I said, this crew's busting their ass. They've been busting their ass for 9 freaking months. And you're in here screaming, belittling, and this and that. We're all tired. We're all at wit's end. This is bullshit. I'm not, just calm down. And we ended up shaking hands. He goes, you wanted to hit me, didn't you? I said, I still do.
The thing about Joel and Cameron is they kept score, and Joel always found a way to settle up.
Remember in Terminator 2 where the toy car's going through the Dyson house and it hits his legs and he ducks and Linda Hamilton's about to assassinate and the screen blows out? We're up in this house in Malibu and it's like a 98-degree day. Chuck Stewart. Now, you got to picture Chuck Stewart. He's our prop master, and he's a live version of Homer Simpson, just the way he looks, okay? So you know where I'm going with this. He's got the remote control car. He goes, Joel, I am so... He goes, Jim's going to frickin' kill me. Jim comes up, and he goes, Joel, you operating this? Yeah, I'm going to do it for Chuck. And Jim had screamed at me for something earlier in the day, and now I'm thinking, let me get him back. I said, Jim goes, I'm going to operate the pogo cam. So it's a small camera on a 3-foot stick. He wants to chase the car. So I'd run it. I get it to the last third of the thing and I crash it into a wall. Jim would go, all right, sorry, Jim. Okay, back to 1. Well, after take 4, he's dripping wet. He goes, looks at me. He's not stupid. He goes, are we even? I said, yeah, I'm good. Can we get the shot? Sure. What print? Let's move on.
Joel didn't just work for Arnold and Cameron. Over 4 decades, he coordinated and directed action across every genre Hollywood makes, and some of the biggest productions on Earth.
I was the second unit director on Fast and Furious 7, as well as the supervising stunt coordinator, and lost a good friend on that show, Paul Walker. That was a tough one. This is on Blade Runner 2049. That is the trash mesa where we crashed what's called a flying spinner. I was the second unit director on that picture and stunt coordinator. That's in Budapest, Hungary. Yeah, it was like a $240 million budget.
There's a side of Joel Kramer that has nothing to do with stunts, nothing to do with Arnold, nothing to do with Hollywood. It starts at a driving range in Studio City on a rainy morning.
Studio City Golf and Tennis. I used to hit balls there religiously. So I said, I'm going to go up and hit balls like 8 in the morning. She goes, it's pouring rain. I said, yeah, I got to go hit balls. And there's only 2 covered stalls. And I'm the only one there in the pouring. And I've got a big jumbo bucket laid out in the trough. And I'm banging balls away. And as I'm looking out, watching my ball, I hear this voice go, hey, can I share the stall with you? And I turn around, I went, yeah, absolutely. And I turn back around and I go, that's Eddie freaking Van Halen. We hit balls for like 2.5 hours together. Talking, getting to know each other. Hey, you got to come up to the studio, man, and da-da-da. We became friends.
Joel became part of Eddie's world. The studio, the house, the brothers, and the stories that came out of that friendship are unlike anything else in this series.
So I go up there one Saturday. I said, Susan, I'm going to go up to 5150 and hang out with Ed now. We play video games they have there or basketball. And it's about lunchtime. And I said, Alice, hey guys, let's go get down to Shiki Sushi right at Coldwater and Ventura and get some sushi. And Ed goes, yeah, just let me run down to the house and take a dump. So he leaves in the golf cart. Alex goes, let's go eat. He'll be an hour and a half. We're in the lounge and Ed comes up and goes, you guys ready? And I go, dude, we already went and ate. We got sushi for you. What do you do on that toilet? He goes, Joel, I write my best music when I'm taking a dump. About 3 weeks later, I'm upstairs in his bedroom getting something for him, and I peek in the bathroom. The bathroom's probably 800 square feet. Big house. And there's a little room, the shitter room. It's about 5 feet wide, a toilet, and there's a cutout on both sides of the wall. 4 guitars here, an amp over here. Yeah, I started laughing hysterically.
Eddie Van Halen was the greatest guitarist of his generation, but Joel saw something most fans never did.
We'd come in the afternoon, and there'd be a chair in there, a burned out candle, an empty bottle of wine, and a cello. Ed would sit in there and play the cello because of the acoustics. The cello, the violin, the guy was an amazing musician. He was a maestro and all that stuff, man. But he played it all. Man. He was a virtuoso. Ed was a good friend. I was literally heartbroken when he passed.
Joel's got more stories, and we'll be back to hear them.
He comes up to me in front of everybody, points his finger, goes, Joel Kramer! Yeah? He goes, do you remember me? I said, I know who you are. He goes, no. And now everybody's watching. I think I'm being punked.